I may
I'm
stay
also
on mute
cooking
since
dinner
I'm
while
still
we're
at work.
talking. So. All right,
Yeah.
sounds great. Just feel free to chime in anytime there's anything that you think needs to be said.
Okay, thanks a
All
lot.
right. Yeah, thanks, Jason. All right. So the first thing we want to talk about is you guys are here because we're talking about the Michigan State Championship, which is not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after, which is April 13th through 16th. All right, we just had someone join. Who do we have calling there?
It's Greg Doig from Beaver Island.
What's your team number, Greg?
6098.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so we're just getting started. So there are 3 ways that you can qualify for the Michigan State Championship as a rookie team. And the first one is through your robot performance points and your awards points. So First in Michigan has this website that we'll link in the notes that many of you guys already may have the link to, but it's the FRC district rankings for Michigan, which lists all of the 411 teams in the state of Michigan based on their performance. So performance is based on your robot performance in the qualification rounds, where you end up or if you end up getting picked through the eliminations and whether or not you are an alliance captain or a first or second pick of an alliance, where you finish in the qualifications where you finish in the playoffs, and any awards that you might get. Plus, you guys all get a 10-point bonus for being rookies. So the sum of all of these numbers put together gives you your rankings. So you get rankings for your first event, ranking for your second event, and then your team age points. All of those sum together, give you a total district points, and then they rank everybody in the state of Michigan. And the top 102 teams get to go to the Michigan State Championship, with the exception of the fact if there are people that are ranked below 102 that have won the Chairman's Award, which is an award for varsity teams, they get bumped up. So say there's 3 people, or say there's 2 people below 102, then the 101st and 102nd team would then be bumped out, and the 2 teams that are below would qualify. So that's the first way that you can qualify for the Michigan State Championship. If you qualify with your robot performance points and your award points, you get to bring your robot, regardless of whether or not you won the Rookie All-Star Award. Okay? The second way that you can qualify is with your robot and a Rookie All-Star Award. So I don't have in front of me the list of all of you guys who have won the Rookie All-Star Award. But if you receive the Rookie All-Star Award, not the Rookie Inspiration Award, the Rookie All-Star Award, you will be competing for this award at the Michigan State Championship. We'll go into a little bit later the exact details about doing this, but you will need to prepare a presentation. So if you qualified for the Michigan State Championship by the Rookie All-Star Award, you get to compete for that award. However, if you won the Rookie All-Star Award but did not also rank within the top 102 with your robot points, you don't get to bring your robot with you. You just get to interview for this award. And then alternately, if you won the Rookie All-Star Award and with your robot, you will bring your robot and interview for the award. Aside from what you need to do to apply for the Rookie All-Star Award, does anyone have any questions of whether or not they've qualified for the Michigan State Championship, or questions about qualifying for the Michigan State Championship if you've not played both of your districts and don't have all of your points yet? Does anyone have any
can you
questions?
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I was muted. I think I was trying to chime in. One of the things to note is about the points. The current cutoff looks like it's going to be 72 points. So if you have 72 points or more, you have a very good chance of making the Michigan State Championship. Also, while I was switching, I don't know if this was said, but the people that have their chairman, that get via chairmans and that get via points, only are the ones that bring their robots. Everything else is only to submit for awards. So.
Yep, I covered that.
Okay, sorry.
No problem.
And when
so
do they let you know if you're officially qualified?
So
That will
if
be,
you are finished with your 2 district events, the points that you have are the points that you're going to have.
Right.
Okay. So it is on Monday the 11th, so literally 2 days before the Michigan State Championship is when they announce the official list.
they'll start announcing it actually Saturday evening once the week 6 events start to end. They'll start actually going down that list and start calling people who've qualified. It's really dependent on when the events end and the points get entered, and it's calculated by the ranking system. So Saturday evening will be...
What's your team number again?
6-9.
You're breaking up. I can't get you. 6913, is that what you said?
619.
6193. Oh yeah, I hear it. Right now, you guys are ranked 22nd in the state. I'm pretty sure you're going to go. I don't think that there's a possibility that there's going to be enough people who, they have 108 points.
Yes, you are absolutely qualified for states. You need to start looking, you know, for money, travel, all that good stuff, which Brittany will go into more later.
Okay. Which, by the way, awesome performance, by the way, just saying.
Hey.
Yeah, no problem. They won, they were semifinalists at Standish Sterling, finalists at Midland, and got highest rookie seed at both of their events.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Anyone else on the line want to know where you're standing right now?
This is Greg Doig, 6098, and I was wondering because, you know, we're on Beaver Island, so we were wondering, you know, where our rank is and when we would be notified if we are to ship.
Right now, 6098, you have 102 points. You are in the rank 32nd, Clint. You guys are both ranked above us right now, so I'm pretty sure you're safe.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Anyone else on the line that needs to know where you're at? Don't know where you're at? Okay. Well, if you chime in, just let me know. All right. So we're going to kind of go into a little bit the logistics of states, the event schedule information, and kind of like stuff about the venue. So first of all, Clint, I think you should probably cover this. Unbag time and withholding allowances for states.
Sure. So if you qualify for states, you still need to make sure your robot's in its bag, and you will actually not get any unbag time whatsoever between now, basically your last event, and states. The reason for that is the Michigan State Championship is longer than a normal regional, so all of that quote-unquote unbag time is going to be spread out over Wednesday night and Thursday morning, which normally district events don't have. So you are not allowed to unbag your robot. So be sure to, you know, if you're thinking, oh, we made it to states this Thursday, we can unbag the robot again and start working on it, you cannot do that. So keep it inside the bag. Make sure you have the sign-off sheet and all that type of stuff. However, your 30 pounds of withholding allowance, that is still usable. So you can still bring in 30 pounds of withholding, or if you kept your shooter or intake off or something like that, you can still bring that in to assemble it at the event, like I said, Wednesday or Thursday morning.
Talk about coming in on Wednesday.
Yeah, I highly recommend.
Recommendation for Wednesday?
Yeah, I highly recommend if you make it to states that you go Wednesday evening, even if it's a skeleton crew of 3 or 4 students, a couple mentors, to make sure you go there so you can start going through inspection and, you know, because there will be 102 teams, That's almost 2.5 times a district event, so there's going to be a lot of people that have to go through inspection, and it can take some time. So you want to make sure you get there early, or not early, make sure you go Wednesday night and say, instead of saying, we don't need to go Wednesday because we got nothing to do. Take that time, they give it to you, take that time, use it, whether it's to get through inspection or go to the practice fields and test communications or even get a couple practice matches in that evening.
Perfect. Awesome. Did you talk about the practice field?
I did not talk about the practice field, but the way States works is there's actually 2 fields. Last year, I think it was Ford Field and Genius Field, or I think it was DTE or Consumers Energy, one of the 2. So there will be 2 fields. Typically what happens is one field plays all the even matches and the other field plays all the odd matches. So it's a full 102 team event, but it's playing on two fields so that it can go between matches faster. So they'll play one match and it'll go over to the other one and they'll kind of bounce back and forth for the audience. There is going to be a full regulation, walls, tower, defenses, all that practice field where you have to get into queue and first come, first serve. And you can actually play a full-blown 2-minute match and everything with auton and everything on a real field in the practice area. And then they typically will have anywhere from 3 to 4 practice fields that you might have seen at the district level. So there's plenty of areas where you can go and practice, whether it's shooting into the goal or, testing some of the defenses or even actually having some practice matches. I think last year our team, probably played about 5 to 6 extra practice matches just so that our students could get used to driving and testing things in between matches. You will have more downtime at this event because there's so many more teams playing, so there is a chance you could go, anywhere from 20 to 30 matches and not play, where at the district level, you had times where you would play, play a match and then 3 matches later you're in another match.
Awesome. I will be including a link in the notes to the agenda for the event, which runs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and also the event information page where you can find information like who's the volunteer coordinator, who's the event coordinator, hotel information, those kind of things. If you guys do not already have rooms and you know that you're qualified, you better start looking. If you need to travel because it's in Grand Rapids, there may not be hotels available right around the venue. We made our reservations in anticipation of going to States in November, and our hotel is sold out right now. So if you don't already have them, start calling around, start looking, because it's going to be important for you. Does anybody have any questions about the logistics of the MSC? It's going to run just like a district event, except for with 2 fields and a lot bigger. Other than that, you're going to have the exact same thing. You're going to load in, you're going to go through inspection, you're going to get a match schedule, you're going to play matches 3 versus 3, you're going to have rankings, you're going to have alliance selection. The only difference is alliance selection. Clint, you want to go over that?
Yeah, the alliance selection at States is considered to have instead of 8 teams, there will be 16. So there will be the Sweet 16, or also known as Octo Finals. It'll be a little bit different, I guess, if you will. So what will happen then is they'll rank everyone just like the district events, except for instead of going 1 to 8, they're going to go 1 down to 16, 16 all the way back to 1 again. So there will be 48 teams, right? Times 3? 48 teams that make the eliminations at States. So once again, you need to, if you have a pick list or something like that, it's going to have to be even longer than the district event. And what ends up happening, I think 1 ends up playing 16, 2 plays 15, so on and so forth. And then once you move out of the octo finals, you go to the quarterfinals, just like the normal district. semifinals, finals, and then you'll have 3 winners for the Michigan State Championship.
So Clint, one more time, alliance selection goes 1 to 8?
No, 1 to 16.
1 to 16, 1 to 16, 16 to 1?
Yeah, 1 to 16, 16 to 1.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Awesome. Does anyone have any questions about the alliance selection process? I think we had another team join in a little bit ago.
Team 6013, Global.
6014?
6013.
6013. Hey, how's it going? This is
Not bad.
From Engineers. We just saw you guys.
We didn't do that.
They were on our alliance at Troy. That's why we're laughing right now.
That's right.
So we just finished talking about the event schedule and information about the Michigan State Championship. So you guys right now still have one more event to play, but you're sitting at 43 points.
How many do you need?
Clint, you said the cutoff's about 72, right?
72 is the estimated cutoff point, 72.
So if you guys do as well as you did at Troy or better, you'll qualify for state.
Okay,
right.
Okay.
All
Good.
right, so
Thank you.
are going, yeah, you're welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Rookie All-Star Award. I know we've got a couple of you on the line here who won the Rookie All-Star Award at your district event. So basically what the Rookie All-Star Award is the chairman's team, or the chairman's award, but for rookie teams. It's for a rookie team who kind of looks like they've been doing this for a long time and is already starting toward the road of advancing science and technology, engineering and math-related fields, and respect in your school and community. So if you won this award at a district event, congratulations. You will be interviewing for this award. If you did not win this award at the district event, you will not be eligible to interview for this award. So out of the 27 districts that we had, 27 of the rookie teams, out of whatever 90 some odd of you that there are, 27 of you will be interviewing for this award, and one Rookie All-Star Award winner will be selected. The interviews are scheduled ahead of time. You'll probably be getting an email sometime soon, probably, my guess is Monday, to schedule your interview time slot. The interviews happen on Friday, April 15th and Saturday, April 16th. And the slots on Saturday will go first come, first served to teams who have not qualified with their robot also. So if you qualified with your robot and Rookie All-Star, you're going to want to schedule your interview on Friday. If you only qualified with Rookie All-Star and will not be bringing your robot, you can probably pick Friday or Saturday, depends. Some rookie teams who don't also qualify with their robot, they already had the time off school, they've already got their hotel room, so they decide to go anyway, which is great. But if you're not in that position, you can feel free to only go on Saturday. You do not have to attend for the duration of the event if you did not qualify with your robot. Okay? The awards will take place, the award ceremony will take place from 5 to 7-ish. I say ish very heavily. Last year, granted field reset was a pain, but they finished about 3 hours behind schedule last year. So I go heavy on the ish when I say 5 to 7. Does anybody have any questions on how to sign up for or the process for signing up for the Rookie All-Star Award interview if you've already qualified? If you're on the line right now and you haven't played your second district, you can still win it at your second district, so make sure that you pay attention to all of this information. If you've played both of your events and you didn't qualify, then kind of just tune me out for a few minutes. Or listen, because maybe one day you might be applying for the Chairman's Award and all of this information will be very helpful to you. Any questions before I go into presentation? Okay, well, if you have a question, feel free to chime in or send me a text message or whatever. So preparing a presentation. The first thing that you're going to want to do is bust out the awards section of the administrative manual, which is section 6. You're going to want to look at section 6.4.8, which is the chairman's interview. This will lay out an entire, it's like 8 pages for you for the Chairman's Award. The only part you're going to want to look at is the interview, because you guys don't have to do a video, you don't have to write an essay, you don't have to do anything but give your presentation. So teams will have up to 7 minutes to present for their award. This means that you should prepare a presentation. You're going to practice what you're going to say. You're going to time your speech. Make sure that you're not going over or that you're only not at like 3.5 minutes. You want to communicate as much information as you can in the amount of time that you are given. So for example, our chairman's presentation is about 6 minutes and 40 seconds. That gives us an opportunity if we have anything to set up, or if they start the timer as you're walking in the door, that you have a couple extra seconds, but not a lot of extra time. So 7 minutes. You might want to incorporate a theme or a cause. So like Mubotics, for example, their theme is everything is cow. So they might, when their presentation, I'm not saying that they should, but they might have everything be cow. For example, our team, we are the engineers. Our team colors are red and black. Our students dress up in red and black, and all of the materials that we bring into our presentation are all red and black to go with our team's colors or theme. You don't have to wear a costume. If you want to wear a costume that plays into your presentation, you're more than welcome to do that. Team Rush, I know the year that they won chairman's at the championship, their theme was a flight plan, and they wore pilot's caps and jackets. So it's up to you what you want to do, something that will suit your team. Our team chooses to dress up. We wear black dress pants, black dress shirts, and a tie. So our students all kind of look like waiters from Olive Garden, but it's also very classy at the same time. So give your presentation. The thing that you should make sure that you're trying to do is tell your story. And this applies for even when you are talking with judges in the pit. When you're in your interview, you want to tell your story. One mentor can go into the room to observe silently, and we highly recommend that you take advantage of this. They may or may not give you a written feedback form, but the interview is closed. No one else can go in. You can't videotape it. You can't sound record it. You can't do anything but one mentor go in with a pen and a pad of paper. We highly recommend that any feedback that you have for your presenters, if you are the mentor that is going into the presentation, write everything down, because you're going to be so excited and so overwhelmed and so exhausted by the end of this presentation that you're not going to remember what you were going to say to them. So write everything down as the mentor. At the end of your 7-minute presentation, there's a Q&A. Before we go into stuff about Q&A, does anyone have any questions about the actual presentation itself?
I actually have a question. I'm trying to find that 6.4.8.
Yep.
I am not finding it. I'm finding like 6.4.3, and then it goes through, and like I've even checked to see if I'm missing a page, but it jumps from.
Is it in the admin manual?
Yeah, it's in the admin manual.
Not the robot manual.
I have like the.
Well, section 6 is the awards manual. Let me bring it up for you.
Okay.
Awards, so that you're looking in the awards manual.
Yep, that's section 6.
All right, hold on. My headset just died. Hold on just 1 second. Or dot 8. So it's on page 15 of the administration manual. So like when you're scrolling through and you start to see bunches of big blue rectangles, it's below that. It starts on the very bottom of page 15 of the administration manual.
Is that a different manual than the one that has like the overall rules, not the game manual?
Correct. So if you go to the resource library, where all of like the manuals are listed there, there's a manual called Awards. It's called section 6, Awards.
Okay. Because I printed one at the beginning that's like a 200-page thing that has like section 1, introduction. Section 2, I don't know, section 4 is like safety.
Yep.
And it's got section 6 awards. Is it a different one than this?
Yep, it's the awards. So go to page 15 of that.
See, my 16 just talks about the video.
Your page
competition manual.
At the top, what do you see at the top of your page?
Done to
you might have
earn
to just
award.
So what you're going to want to do is just go online and look at the most updated one.
Okay.
Because they've made updates to it. They've made a lot of updates to it. So you're going to want to go online and get a new one.
Okay, and that was the administration one?
Yeah, it's the awards manual.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep, I'll put a link to it in the notes for you.
Okay, thank you.
So you're going to want to read this and make sure that you know everything in the interview part. Don't worry about the video and the essay and all that stuff. Just read the stuff about the interview. That just talks about like how long you have and what you can do and how long it takes you to set up and all that stuff. So I'm going to include some really detailed bullet points in the notes about exactly what you need to do. Does anyone have any questions about the actual interview? Okay. So if you have any individual questions for me, please feel free to send me an email. This is kind of what I do for our team. I help all of our students prepare for their presentations at the Engineers Day After Kickoff workshop. I host an awards workshop that kind of talks about what you should do in these situations. So the next thing I really want to talk about is the Q&A. So you're going to get 5 minutes of question and answer, and the judges are going to throw questions at you that, unfortunately, there's no actual list of questions that they ask every single team every single time. They're probably going to ask you things like, tell us about your story, what makes you unique, what kind of struggles have you overcome, those kind of things. So your students just need to be ready to tell their story. There's no limit of number of students that may go into this room to present, but I'm going to warn you, it's like a teeny tiny little office, so I would not plan on sending your whole entire team unless your team has only like 4 students. I would highly recommend you not send more than 4 students. 3 to 4 is usually a pretty good number. So pick 3 or 4 students and start practicing the things that you want to talk about in your presentation. Maybe come up with 3 or 4 goals or things that your team does that you think makes you unique. My last piece of advice for this is to avoid having members of your drive team present for this award if you can. It makes it very difficult to coordinate when you have drivers as your presenters. I know some of you guys have really small teams, so this might be unavoidable, but if you can, try to avoid doing this. They will make concessions, so if you are on the match, if you're on the field for a match, when your interview time is, you just need to send a different person to go there and be like, hey, they're on the field, they'll be here in a minute. But they'll make concessions for you, but if you can avoid it altogether, that is your best bet. Does anyone have any other questions about the interview? Did I lose everyone, or are you guys all still here?
I'm here.
All right, awesome. I keep having problems with my wireless headset, so I keep disconnecting and reconnecting, so I'm just making sure I'm not losing you guys. All right, so if you did not win the Rookie All-Star Award, there's another award called the Rookie Inspiration Award, which I see some of you guys won. To my knowledge, and Clinton or Jason, you might need to correct me if I am wrong, but you did not have to win the Rookie Inspiration Award at a district in order to be eligible for it at state. It probably gives you a higher likelihood of winning it, but the Rookie Inspiration Award is open to all of the rookie teams at state.
I don't know the answer to that. I think it's up to any team that's physically at states. I don't think you had to win it previously to be up for that award. I think the same thing's true for all of the awards for everyone. You don't have to win it previously to win it. But
except for
if you won it before, it gives you a better probability because they'll be like, oh, they won at this event. Let's look at them for Rookie Inspiration, so on and so forth.
So what is the Rookie Inspiration Award? Basically, the Rookie Inspiration Award, I hate to say it like this, but it's kind of true. It's basically runner-up Rookie All-Star Award. Basically, it's for the team that the judges see as doing super great things in their community, really working to become bigger as a team, spreading the word of FRC in their community, really inspiring their students to want to go into science and technology fields. One of those things that maybe students on your team weren't planning to go to college and now they are because of their experience in robotics. What the award description actually says is that it celebrates a rookie team's outstanding success in advancing respect and appreciation for engineering and engineers, both within their school as well as within their community. So it is basically the Engineering Inspiration Award, which is a veteran team award, but for rookies. So anyone can win this award, anyone, as long as you are physically, like Clint said, physically at the event. So for teams that only qualified for the Rookie All-Star Award interview but not with their robot, you're probably not eligible for this award. But if you're there with your robot, try to go for this award. There's only one that's given out of all of the rookie teams that are there. So there could be 50 rookie teams at state and only one of these awards. So it's very difficult to win, but that doesn't mean that it's unattainable. So my first bit of advice for this award is for you to, for this and for Rookie All-Star, both of these awards, is develop handouts for the judges. Put together a binder about your team. This is where you are going to want to have materials to give to the judges when they visit you in the pits if you are not applying for a Rookie All-Star Award, or if you are applying for the Rookie All-Star Award, you're going to want to give it to them when you go in for your interview. This is your opportunity to tell each person on your team's personal story. Talk about how FRC has inspired them. Talk about your team's history. Talk about your accomplishments, the struggles you've overcome. Tell your story. This is the most important part here. The judges are looking for a warm, fuzzy feeling, a Cinderella story, an outstanding accomplishment that your team has done. They're looking for that. They're looking for your students to be emotionally moved by their participation in FRC, whether it be, excitement and enthusiasm or, regret that they didn't participate in it earlier. anything that's going to show the judges that your students have been truly affected by this program. If you're doing things in your community, like maybe your school has started to recognize your program, maybe they gave you a robotics room at your school, maybe you had a pep assembly and you guys were there, maybe they talked about you on the announcement, maybe any one of the 100,000 things that your school could do to recognize your program, you're going to want to talk about at this point. Anything that you've done in your community, if you've done any demonstrations, if you have gained sponsors within your community that are proud of you, maybe your local hardware store sponsored you and you gave them a thank you card and they have a thing up in their store talking about your successes. If your local newspaper or broadcast company has done a story on you, talk about all of these things. Talk about everything that you're doing to get your name and the message of your team out in your community. Very important for both the Rookie Inspiration and the Rookie All-Star Award. Does anyone have any questions about the Rookie Inspiration Award or the Rookie All-Star Award? Okay, well, if you do, chime in. If you win the Rookie All-Star Award, which again, there's only one, but if you win the Rookie All-Star Award, it is an automatic qualifier for nationals. You will not get your fee paid for, but you will automatically be given a bid to go to nationals. So if you win the Rookie All-Star, you'll be qualified for nationals. You'll have to find out how to pay for it, but it is an automatic qualifier. So even if, you know, the top, how many teams go, Clint? 62, 64? So even if you're ranked 102 at the event and you win Rookie All-Star, you still get the opportunity to go to the World Championship because you won Rookie All-Star. Rookie Inspiration Award, unfortunately, is not an auto-qualifier, but it does give you, 15 points towards your ranking toward the championship. So it's always good to win an award because it gives you more points, and some of them qualify you for the championship. Does anyone have any questions, or Clint or Jason, do you have anything to add there before we get into general advice for rookie teams?
Nope, sounds good.
All right. So a couple pieces of advice for you guys. The first one is to decorate your pit with information about your team. You may want to make displays. You can do something as simple as poster board or a trifold board with large pictures and large text. You want to keep your text to a minimum because if it's in your pits, you don't want to have a judge stand there and read what you wrote. You want to be able to talk to them, so them standing there reading big, huge, long paragraphs that you put on a board is not them interacting with your students. A lot of times just putting captions under your pictures is all that you need to do. Hey, Clint, can you, or Jason, can you take over for just a second? I got to go check on Lucas. He's screaming about something. We're talking about pit displays. I'm talking about printing banners or making PowerPoint displays for your pit.
Yeah, so like Randy was saying, if you have something that you can put up in your pit to kind of show the journey of your team, you know, like you can get some foam core, or you can get some large printed pictures that you can hang up. We bought, I think they're around $50, the pull-up boards you can get online at Amazon. Or the other things we've done is we've had a computer in the pit with a PowerPoint presentation on it that just rotates through. So pictures and information about the team, just to draw people into your pit. Other things for your pits is you want to bring in your team colors and logos into the pit. And if you make a banner to be hung in your pit, you want to make sure that you have your team name, your logo, your school name, the city on your banner. Are there any questions on that?
All right, I'm back, by the way.
Okay, so we got down to number 2.
Awesome. So this is kind of an area of some tension in the FIRST robotics community. I know that we practice this, and I know that Team Rush practice this. It's training your students to talk to judges. Some people feel that telling your students what they need to say is like cheating or frowned upon because they're not coming up with individual answers. But at the same time, you don't expect your students to build a robot without teaching them about engineering. You don't expect them to use tools without training them. You should expect them to talk to judges without training them on what to do. So I'm not necessarily saying that you need to tell them verbatim, this is the script, this is what you need to say, but talking to them about the important things that they need to bring up. Tell them, shake the judge's hand, make eye contact. Not every student's parents have brought them up to do these kind of things. And this is a very traditional environment where things like a handshake and eye contact and calling people ma'am and sir goes a long way. Being professional goes a long way when you're talking to judges. So teach them to do that. Teach them to stand with their back facing in a direction that they're welcoming. You don't necessarily want them standing in front of the robot with their back to it, not paying any attention because that's unsafe. But you also don't want them standing with their back to the outside of the pit all the time so that when someone walks by, they don't feel invited in. So teach them a little bit about body language. Teach them about common courtesy. Discuss with your students important things that they'll want to bring up, like what makes them special, what makes your team special, what struggles has your team overcome to get to the Michigan State Championship. If you won the Rookie All-Star Award or the Rookie Inspiration Award and you have information or feedback from the judges, talk to the judges at the Michigan State Championship about why you were selected for the Rookie All-Star Award or the inspiring story that you guys gave in order to win the Rookie Inspiration Award. Talk to them about these things. Talk to them about what makes your robot special. Is there something on your robot that you guys have designed, or maybe certain iterations that you went through, or maybe use of a creative material that you guys have used on your robot that makes it special? Talk about how your school has recognized your program. What are you doing in your community for their STEM education and raise awareness about your robotics programs? Do you mentor or help with any other teams in your state or your area? Maybe you have students on your team that came up through First LEGO League. Talk about the progression of programs that they participated in. And teach your students to practice telling their personal story and in an efficient way. The judges only have so much time there. You have to remember that they're looking at all of the teams for Rookie All-Star Award in 2017, all the teams for the engineering, all of the teams for the Rookie Inspiration Award and 27 teams for the Rookie All-Star Award. They don't have all day to stand there and listen to you. So make sure you talk with your students about not rambling on and on and on and repeating the same thing over and over again. Have them practice being efficient, but also emotional in their delivery of responses to the judges. Does anybody have any questions about these things? I typed all of the questions that I just stated and all the things that I think that you guys might want to look out for and train your students for, all in the notes for you, so you'll have the answers to all of these questions. And of course, you can always feel free to add more than what we've told you, but this is just a good jumping off point for you guys. Does anyone have any questions about decorating your pits or students talking to judges that visit your pits?
I have a quick question. What they said about us, the judges, for when we got Rookie All-Star, we missed it. We were on our way walking out. Okay. Is there somebody I can contact to get a copy of what they had said? Because we didn't get any feedback because we missed it.
I don't know if they actually keep those, but you can contact the event coordinator for the event that you went to. So
okay.
you were at Midland, right?
Yes. And I know somebody contacted me because they forgot to give us the thing to put on the back of our standard.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who that was. If that might have been the event coordinator. But I emailed her this morning asking. I just hadn't gotten a response. I didn't even know if I was starting in the right place.
Yeah, so I'd contact Doreen or Lynn, either one of them, the volunteer, probably Lynn.
I think it was Doreen that I got hold of.
Okay, she's the volunteer coordinator. Either one of them, the volunteer coordinator and the event coordinator, they work so closely together that if you send an email to one and it's meant for the other, they'll worry about getting it to the right person. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So as long as you've contacted Lynn or Doreen, either one, they might be able to get it for you. I don't know if they keep that or for how long they keep that kind of stuff, because technically neither the event coordinator or the volunteer coordinator are in charge of those. It's the judging advisor, but they don't put the information for the judging advisor on FRC's website, so you have to contact the judging advisor through the event coordinator or the volunteer coordinator. So you're on the right track.
Okay.
Just think about the stories that you told at Midland or when you guys were at Kettering, and think about the things that make your team special and talk about those things, because whatever it was that your students told them, that's why they selected you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Does anybody else have any questions about talking to judges or doing your pit? Awesome. All right. So making continuous improvements to your robot. Clinton and or Jason, you want to cover this? Did we lose Clint?
I don't know if we lost. What was that, Brandy?
What was the question? Sorry.
I was just talking about making continuous improvements to your robot and utilizing your pit time.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I talked about earlier, there will be some downtime between matches, different than what you see at the district level. There's going to be times, like I said, I think last year we had some matches where it was 30 matches before we would have to be up again. So we'd have longer downtimes. So utilize that downtime to make sure you look over your robot, make sure that if you have any, damage, if anything's damaged or broken, you can fix it and repair it, or get out to the practice field and test that new feature or a different way to go over the defense or a different way to shoot. And the same thing goes with, continuously making your robot better, because I think I've said it before on this call, is like if you're not doing it, everyone else is, and you're falling behind. So even our team is planning on doing large improvements for Michigan State Championship.
And don't be afraid to ask some of the veteran teams to help. So if you're having trouble maybe with Auton or something else, don't be afraid to ask some of the veteran teams to see if they have someone that can help you with that. And then remember, too, you got Wednesday night when you load in, and then Thursday, at least Thursday morning, right before we start qualifications.
Sure. Thursday at 1 o'clock is qualifications. I think is when the qualifications start, is 1 o'clock on Thursday. There's practice matches, I think, Wednesday and Thursday morning. Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
What? Awesome. So basically, just like we said earlier, it's just like a district, except for you have a lot more pit time. So does anyone have any questions about anything else at the Michigan State Championship before we start talking about advancement from the Michigan State Championship to the first championship in St. Louis?
I have a question.
Sure.
At Midland, one of the refs mentioned no noise making. I didn't know if that was a third rule for all competitions, or if, somebody there had an air horn don't know if that's what set it off, what's the game rules, anything, but.
So the rule is actually in section 4 of the administration manual, which is the at the event. If you look at rule 4.11.3, which is on page, hold on, page 15, it says that we ask you to bring attention to your teams in ways that are in good taste and in the spirit of the competition. Please refrain from the following: using noisemakers, using objects that damage bleachers or floors, and wearing inappropriate clothing. I'm not really sure how those 3 things are related, but it does say that you can't use noisemakers.
Okay.
So you can't use any kind of, like, we used to have like water bottles with nuts and bolts in them that we would shake that was like really super loud. And they told us we can't use those anymore. There were teams with like the little horns, like jesters use, those all got taken away. So you can't use anything besides your voices to cheer.
And clapping, applause.
Yes.
Thank you.
Pretty much anything but your body in person, I suppose. You could like stomp in the stands and stuff like that. Like a lot of, you know, the Red Alliance, clap, 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 cheer. Some people instead of clapping, stomp. So basically anything that you can do with your body that does not require an additional device.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? All right, well, we've got just a couple minutes. We're going to cover advancement from the Michigan State Championship to the championship. Clint and or Jason, you're probably going to have to hop in here and help me with a little bit of this. I have most of it down, but I'm not sure exactly if I have all of the details. All right, one team will win the Rookie All-Star Award. This is an automatic qualifier for the championship. The top 102 teams, based on ranking at the close of the event, will be given an opportunity to advance to the first championship. The exception of this is if there are chairman's winning teams that are ranked below 102, in which case those number of teams will move up in and whoever's at the bottom of the list will move out. Ranking points that you have earned at your district will count towards your ranking at state. So if you are starting out right now with, let's say, 35 points, you will go into states with 35 points. Through the competition of the Michigan State Championship, the ranking points that you receive at the event are worth triple the amount of points that they were at districts. So, for example, if you were to win a 5-point award, say highest rookie seed, that's worth 5 points. If you are the highest rookie seed at the Michigan State Championship, you will earn 15 points. Same for the Rookie All-Star. So if you win Rookie All-Star at the Michigan State Championship, it's now worth 15 points instead of 3 points. Your win-loss record and your qualification record, your where you placed in the eliminations, which alliance you're on, all of those points are worth triple. Is that correct, Clint?
What was that question?
Triple points, correct?
Yes, MSC is triple the points. So each award, judged award, is 15 points.
I was just making sure it was triple.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So if you are one of the lucky few to qualify for the first championship, you will need to ship your robot. Clinton, can you cover this, please?
Yes, I can. So shipping the robot, the thing that you need to be aware of is when you bag the robot at Michigan State Championship, you're not going to be able to unbag it again to attach it or strap it down to your crate. There is in the manual, I forget what section, I think it's transportation, I think, where they tell you how big of a crate, it can't weigh more than 400 pounds with the robot and everything. You're going to want to put ratchet straps or something like that to keep your robot down. What we typically do is the board that we talked about earlier that we put inside of our bag to keep the robot from rolling around. we end up having that still inside and actually taking that whole board, setting it inside of our crate, and screwing that board down to the base of the crate. So then that way in shipping it's screwed down and it doesn't move. We sometimes will throw a strap over top of it. So you can disassemble your robot, you know, if you have an arm that sticks out, and you know, you can disassemble it and put it inside the crate. That makes it easier for shipping. But you want to make sure that your crate is, you know, fairly strong, you know, and make sure you put fragile on it and do not stack. But like I said, all that specification is listed out in the travel section of the manual.
But you also don't want to build a super stronghold of a crate, because if it's over 400 pounds, you have to pay for the overage.
Yeah, they charge you a lot of money when you're overweight. So. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know if anybody has questions on crates. You know,
one of those things you need to read the manual, and then if you guys have questions, feel free to email us, because there's a lot to it. And then, Clint, can you talk about getting all your other stuff to St. Louis, how you have to handle that?
Yeah, so a lot of people will, to get their stuff to St. Louis, they'll, you know, have a couple team members drive, you know, a truck and trailer, or put in the back of a truck, you know, their toolboxes. Teams will sometimes use buses, and they'll put their tools and everything underneath the bottom of the bus to take it. It really depends on how you are getting there to determine, you know, what you're going to do to get your parts and pieces on there. So if you have any teams that are close to you, near you, you can maybe see if you guys could share the cost of gas for the trailer to go down. Our team typically will have two mentors go down a little bit ahead of us and drive the trailer down there. And while our team we actually use the trains to get to the championship instead of charter buses.
So that's pretty much what we have for you. I know it's 1 minute after 7 right now, but if there's any last questions, please feel free to speak up. No question is a stupid question. We'll find you an answer.
I have one more question.
Sure, go ahead.
With the rookie all-star, when we go in, should we take like our binder? Because we did what you had kind of talked to us at the beginning in January, and we have the binder like showing the page about all the students and pictures and all that we had in the pit. Should we take that to the interview?
Absolutely. And what you're going to do is give your presentation. And then at the end of the presentation, they're probably going to say something like, do you have anything else you'd like to add, or is there anything else you'd like to tell us, those kind of stuff. That's your opportunity to hand them the binder and say, you know, here's some more information about our team for you to check out. We encourage you to take a look at this binder. It really helps tell the rest of the story that we weren't able to tell you here. So make sure you bring that with you and give that to the judges, because they will review it.
Okay, will we get it back?
Yes. Any materials that you give the judges, they will give back to you after the awards ceremony. So you have to stick around all the way to the end to see whether or not you won. And then all of the materials that you give them, whether you leave your presentation board, the binder, handouts, anything, if you leave it at the interview, or if they take it from you in your pit, we'll be back at pit administration at the end of the event.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email, send me a text, send Jason or Clint an email or a text. If you guys have questions about the robot logistics things, go ahead and shoot me an email. And we are here to help you. So obviously, if you guys make it to the Michigan State Championship, Team Rush will be there, engineers will be there, and we are here to help you. So any of you guys that we interacted with during the season, it was truly a pleasure. If we didn't get an opportunity to see you at one of your district events, please come up and say hi to us. Find us in the pits. You'll have to introduce yourself, because I've learned to recognize so many of your voices. But some of you guys, either we've only met in passing or we haven't met at all. So please feel free to come find us. We've spent our whole entire season with you, and we would love to meet you guys. So we wish you guys all success because luck is handed to you and success is earned. So we hope that you guys will do awesome at MSD, and let us know if you guys need anything at all.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. We'll be in touch, that's for sure.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. I might still try to get a hold of you.